Welcome to Central Configuration, Legal Agreements, and Security. Let's get started. So within Central Configuration, we have a section in terms of legal agreements and security that we're going to review. So I'm on my configuration page. I'm going to scroll down and you can see under security, I've got my security policies, message template, legal agreements, and SSO configuration. I'll show you SSO configuration. I'm not going to go into details. There is another recording that is specific to single sign-on, but this is where you would set up your SSO for your Taleo Enterprise product lines. So Smart Org Recruiting Center, we have a scheduling center in our demo zone, and the new hire portal. So let's take a look at we're going to start with the legal agreements. Scroll down. So the legal agreement is a disclaimer text. So similar to privacy agreement that you would be showing to your candidates, this is displaying a text to your Taleo users when they're accessing the product. It can be created so users has to agree and abide by it before they can log in and do any type of work. The text in the agreement typically reminds users that the computer that they're accessing are government and private industry owned, and must be in accordance to good security practice as an example. So it is displayed to users when they're accessing Taleo. From a user's perspective, not from a career section perspective. So system administrators would be responsible for entering the disclaimer text, and there's no limit to, in the number of the legal agreements that can be created, but only one agreement can be active at a time. It's possible to kind of change it, a currently active one at any point in time. So if I go into create, you can see I have my requirements to give it a code, a name, and the text. So it's a rich text editing box, which works the same way in various sections of the tool. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to kind of show you one of them that is active, or sorry, that's inactive, but it was active at one point. And it's just basically states the computer you're accessing is privately owned and must be used in accordance with good security practice. So when you are using inactive, but if this was an active legal agreement, I would have to agree to that before doing any type of configuration or requisition or task inside of Taleo. At any point in time, if you need it, so I have my statuses here. I have one in draft. I have one inactive. I can activate the draft or I can activate the inactive, and that would put it into place. I can, if there's a statement that I'm no longer using, I can delete it just by the actions here. So displaying the legal agreements we'll review when we kind of go through security policies, but that's how you would kind of tell the system to display it. So we can go back and see that part. So I'm going to scroll and I'm going to go into my securities. And in my sign-in, this is where I would change to say show the legal agreement to users at logins. I would just change it from a no to a yes. So security policies are settings that are related to the security of Taleo. And the settings are organized in 4 groups. So it is used in sign-in, user account, passwords, and forgot your password. The history section provides information on actions that were performed on policy settings. So it will give you the date and time, the event, the details, and by who. So if we kind of go through the security settings, these are settings that for the most part you may want to work with your information technology group. So it talks about the user account. If you have SSO, that might not be a problem, you won't have to kind of worry about all of those details. However, if you don't, you can kind of see some of the settings that are important and decisions that have to be made. So the number of incorrect sign-in attempts allowed before the account is locked. Period during which the system prevents access to an account has been locked. When you're creating a user account, send an email. So there's various components from a user account perspective, from the password. So password, again, is very common for a company to kind of have a setting or a password policy in terms of what it has to be. And from a user perspective, if you're not using SSO, you would come here and just kind of make sure that you work with that team to set what is in line with your company. And the forgot your password. So the forgot your password. So you have the ability to kind of decide whether it's an access code or whether it's in the system. So if I put this section in in edit mode, you can kind of see the different components of what method to use. So is it an access code? Is it security questions? Is it both or one of? Or you can kind of say, no, we want to control it and it's going to be by contacting the system administrator. And then you have the number of incorrect attempts. So specifically with the forgot your password, you have the ability to also control the message templates. So a couple of ones that are really important in terms of, a user account information has been created. But a very common one is the web top, the forgot your password. And you have the ability to kind of add some customization to that. But everything in terms of the method that you're using, it is coded, right? So you have your access code, it would populate for the user, and then the link would be there as well. And then you also have instructions. So there's various ones that you can kind of look at doing some customization if needed. And that's the end of legal agreements and security within the central configurations. Thank you.